It's an IUP basketball night here at the KCAC as the 9th-ranked IUP Crimson Hawks return home for a matchup against rival Slippery Rock, and it's all coming your way next here on the Crimson Hawks Sports Network.
Brooks, he's going to take it up and in. John A. Brooks. Stoner over to Watson. Watson, pull up, good. Up off the window, good. Amy Fairman. Wareham from behind the arc, good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network pregame show. Josh Show, Eric Kormos alongside Eric. Let's jump right into it here this evening as the IUP Crimson Hawks face off against Slippery Rock. But we'll look at what Marita Matthew was able to do last week because she earned the PSAC Player of the Week award, her first time winning the award, and what a week it was for Marita.
Yeah, Marita had a great week, averaged 15 points per game, 4.5 assists per game, and a pair of road wins last week at Mercyhurst and Edinboro. And Josh, that's the 5th time this season that an IUP women's basketball player has won Player of the Week for the PSAC West. Of course, the other 4 times have gone to senior guard Lindsay Stamp, so nice to see Mathe bring that award back here to IUP and kind of spread it around the team. Yeah,
3 straight road games for the IUP Crimson Hawks. Last time it was against the Edinboro Fighting Scots at the Macomb Fieldhouse, and it was a high-scoring affair for IUP, coming out victorious over Edinboro.
Yeah, IUP came home with a 91-81 victory up there in Edinboro, led by 5 players in double figures, led by Ashley Stoner with 24 points and 10 rebounds, her 5th double-double of the season. So IUP moving to 17-2 in conference play, 21-2 overall with that victory at Edinboro.
Crimson Hawks also out-rebound the Edinboro Fighting Scots 38-23. Look at the PSAC standings now. This is a very important game for the Slippery Rock team, who is sitting currently at 6 right now. Top 6 teams make it into the PSAC tournament, so it's do or die for the Rock.
Well, you look at Slippery Rock, they're sitting there at 10-13, or excuse me, 6-13 in the conference, tied with Pitt Johnstown. And for Slippery Rock, this is a big game as they look to get back to the postseason for the first time since the 2005-2006 season. Meanwhile, you look at IUP, they're pretty much locked into that number 2 seed, having both of their conference losses coming to Cal and only 3 games remaining on the schedule. That's pretty much where they're going to find themselves as they enter into PSAC West tournament play.
Yeah, California still has Gannon on the schedule as well, so maybe a little wiggle room, but it's probably pretty much set in stone. Slippery Rock also does own the tiebreaker against UPJ. But let's go ahead and take a look at our impact players for this evening. 2 players that can really change the dynamic. They'll probably be matched up against each other, Deaja Chambers and Ashley Stoner.
You're looking for Slippery Rock here for Chambers. She's their leading scorer and leading rebounder. Actually, she's in the top 15 in the nation in terms of rebounding for Division II. And Ashley Stoner, we talked about it earlier, almost 14 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 double-doubles on the season. So that's going to be a battle that you're going to want to look at on the inside and see which way that matchup goes.
And now, Eric, it's time to take a look at our keys to the game for this evening's matchup. 3 keys that these teams need to accomplish. We're going to begin with the road to the PSAC championship because it's really starting to hit its final stretch.
This is that time of the season where you really want to be peaking. You look at IUP, they've won 3 games in a row. We talked about all on the road. But Slippery Rock also comes in playing pretty good basketball, winners of 3 of 4 themselves.
And our next key, seeing double. Both of these 2 teams have players that have the ability to put up double-doubles, led by Ashley Stoner, getting her 5th double-double against Edinboro. That's going to be a big key in this one.
And we talked a little bit about that earlier in this pregame, but Stoner and Chambers are going to be the big matchup inside. Let's see what Lindsay Stamp also does on the inside for IUP, and also her ability to kind of bring it out and extend the floor.
Yeah, and with these double-double machines, both of these teams also have tremendous benches. Final key to the night, bench mob. 2 of the best benches in the entire conference.
Yeah, you look at that's going to be very key because as you come down here, especially towards the end stretch of the season, coaches are looking to solidify those rotations as they move into the conference tournament. So let's see how the rotations go tonight for both teams. And you talked about, Josh, end of the season, you need that bench to step up. A lot of players are fatigued. Let's see what type of offensive scoring output that second unit brings.
Should be a good one here tonight. 2 highly contested teams going at it. We're going to take a quick break, come back with starting lineups and a preview of this when we return right here on the Crimson Hawks Sports Network.
The brain is a remarkable organ. It's almost infinite in its capacity. Its ability to reach its full potential is limited by only one thing: the heart. For if the heart isn't fully engaged in what you're doing, if you have no drive, no passion, the brain will simply go through the motions. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
And welcome into the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. We're so happy you've joined us this Wednesday evening. It's an IUP Women's Basketball Showdown. The IUP Crimson Hawks and Slippery Rock. Josh Hill alongside Eric Kormos. And Eric, the weather outside right now, not particularly ideal for fans trying to travel here to the KCAC, but you would have to think by the time the men's game gets started, this place should fill out pretty nicely.
They had a nice little snowstorm blow through here about 3:30. A couple hours before tip-off, but we'll see, like you said, Josh, I think we'll get a nice crowd, especially for the second game between nationally ranked IUP and Slippery Rock.
It's the Susan G. Komen game, and it's a pink out, so you see the IUP Crimson Hawks wearing pink. We are underway. Starting lineups here for Slippery Rock: Taylor Siggers, Bridget McClure, Megan Hardiman, Deasia Chambers, and Danielle Garoot. Crimson Hawks have it to start. Fairman, 3-ball, and she connects early on. 3-0 for the Crimson Hawks, and a nice start for IUP.
Yeah, Slippery Rock opens up in his zone. IUP does a nice job passing the ball around the perimeter. Fairman able to knock down that open three. Nice start offensively for the Crimson Hawks.
Starting for the Crimson Hawks is Ashley Stoner, Lindsay Stamp, Marita Matthew, Leslie Stapleton, and Amy Fairman as well. Driving on the inside, putting that shot up and in is Danielle Garoot, the senior from Maryland, one of the mainstays for the Slippery Rock women's team.
Nice recovery by Garoot. She got stuffed in the lane, stuck with it, was able to hit the shot for Slippery Rock.
That zone, as you mentioned, Eric, for the Slippery Rock women. Ball movement and a 3-ball coming no good, but Stoner is there for the rebound. Draws contact, counted, and the foul. Ashley Stoner will go to the line.
That's a matchup that we focused on pregame, Josh. Stoner going up against Slippery Rock's leader in terms of scoring and rebounding, Deasia Chambers, and Chambers picks up the foul with a bump on the back, and Stoner going to the line to complete the 3-point play. So a rebound, 2 points, and now a third for Stoner. So a nice quick start for her.
Yeah, and that was one of the things we highlighted coming in, was the fact that both Chambers and Stoner would be matching up with one another. Stoner might not be the best player in terms of scoring for IUP, but she certainly holds her own. And that ball will go out of bounds, and we'll actually get a foul call, a blocking call on Fairman. So Slippery Rock will keep it with that foul on the floor. First foul of the game for the Crimson Hawks.
Let's see what Slippery Rock does offensively. Do they try to involve Chambers on the first possession? Here we go, an inbounds pass to her. So she's a part of their offensive game plan.
Chambers drives, can't convert, and a rebound pulled out by Garoot. Driving inside, picking up a foul call, so that shot won't count as Siggers drive the lane.
Lindsay Stamp with a bump out the top of the elbow there. So Slippery Rock will inbounds from underneath the basket. But you can see Slippery Rock's been aggressive thus far, going to the basket on every possession.
Hardiman drives. Hardiman with the left hand, and she's a bit too strong, and then she'll pick up a cheap little foul there. And that may be a little bit of frustration by Megan Hardiman.
Well, another rebound for Stoner. That gives her 2 quick rebounds in less than 90 seconds of play. So thus far, though it's very, very early, she is winning that matchup inside against Chambers.
Crimson Hawks space the floor well and work it to the middle. Down inside, that pass is stolen. That's one of the main things of the zone. They want to try to take away that middle. They did so there, the Rock did.
A nice collapsing defense by Slippery Rock, force a turnover, and now we're going to see what they do in a half-court set.
Siggers runs the point, and Amy Fairman hurt herself on that play. I think she might have hurt her ankle, and we'll get a timeout. That could be a knee or an ankle. As soon as her and Chambers collided there, it didn't really work out in Amy's favor. You could see her favor that leg. And Frank Trenny will go out to look at Amy. Jean A will come into the game at the next stoppage.
Well, that was nice recognition by Chambers. She saw that Fairman had been injured on the play, and that right side of the lane opened up, and she was able to take it in and lay it in, and there's no stoppage in play there. So good recognition by Chambers.
So as Amy is still getting looked at, let's step out for 30 and come on back with some more IUP Crimson Hawks basketball. It's IUP 6, Slippery Rock 4. We'll be right back, everybody.
We see it every day. Hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes, internationally known faculty who are committed to your success. real-world experiences to guide you on your career and life path. An alumni network 120,000 strong. I'm IUP President Mike Driscoll. Visit us. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Welcome back into the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. Josh Hill, Eric Gormos, Amy Fairman leaving the court as we were during that break. No pressure on that right ankle, Eric, so certainly not good there. She's on the training table as we speak.
John A. Brooks checking in for IUP to replace Fairman.
And Brooks swings it to Stamp, who converts the 3-ball, and the conference's leading scores on the score sheet for the first time tonight.
For IUP, that's already their second three-pointer of the game on 3 attempts, so they're doing a nice job of moving the ball around on the zone and hitting those open threes. That's what you need to do to defeat the zone.
Chambers working out, and hand back to Siggers. Taylor Siggers controlling, it goes left side. Back out to McClure. McClure driving and kicking. And that's stolen away by Jeannet. IUP has it, and they'll counter quickly. To Stamp in the lane. Can't convert. Rebound to Slippery Rock.
Nice job by Brooks coming in and making her presence felt off the bench on the defensive side of the floor.
Siggers draws contact and misses the shot. Rebound to Matthew.
IUP continues to look to push the basketball and get ahead of this zone.
Stamp drives and dishes. Stoner back out. Stapleton for 3, no good, and that's what Leslie Stapleton does. Good hustle by Matthew. She can't save it, and she does. It's going to be IUP basketball. Matthew must have thrown it off a Slippery Rock player.
And speaking of Leslie Stapleton, she's a local product here out of Indiana High School. Her sister, Audrey, is a sophomore for Slippery Rock, so little sibling rivalry along with a PSAC rivalry here tonight.
Yeah, and there's a 3-ball for Lindsay Stamp. 2 threes for Lindsay. And Eric, we'll touch on that rivalry, sibling rivalry, here a little bit later in the broadcast, coming back from one of our media timeouts, talking about the local staples, Audrey and Leslie. And there's a 3-ball up and down for Bridget McClure. Talk about local products. Bridget McClure from Marion Center High School.
Yeah, a couple local products on that Slippery Rock team. Good to see, but that was a deep 3 by McClure. She was able to hit.
And there's some good touch there in the near corner by Ashley Stoner. She was a bit far out there for a post player, but she got that baby hook to go.
Yeah, Stoner with a quick 5 points, 2 boards. She is 2 of 2 from the field, so quick, nice start for her.
Crimson Hawks shooting tremendous as a team, 62% here in the early going, and there's a drive by Slippery Rock, and we will step out here for just a moment with our first media timeout of the evening. Crimson Hawks doubling up Slippery Rock right now, 14-7. We'll be right back.
To do out here today.
To be a winner.
Are you in?
Students in communications media at Indiana University of Pennsylvania can focus on a variety of areas, including media promotions. Our promotion students learn their skills by working in a hands-on environment, gaining real-world experience. They learn how to use media to promote, produce, and manage events, and how media organizations operate. They create promotional campaigns and help clients pitch their services, products, and events. With excellent classes led by experienced teachers, the Communications Media Department at IUP is perfect for students interested in media promotion.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Welcome back to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network here. It's IUP women's basketball this Wednesday evening. And Eric, let's take a look at these two teams by the numbers. Looking at points per game, IUP scores 77 per game, Slippery Rock at 65. IUP allows 58 per game, Slippery Rock allows 67. And look at the rebounding margin, Crimson Hawks plus 10, Slippery Rock only plus 1. So the Crimson Hawks have the edge in a lot of numbers here, and they have been tremendous all season long as IUP. There's Jeannet driving into the lane, and she will get fouled. I believe they'll pick Chambers up with that one.
Going back to the point that you were making there, Josh, IUP currently right now sitting at the #3 spot in the Atlantic region rankings for Division II, trailing Cal, who sits at #2, and then Livingstone College, excuse me, the #1 seed. So Slippery Rock has done a very good job thus far staying in this basketball game, but you look at IUP, very good scoring defense, very good scoring defense in the top 10 nationally in scoring defense. So interesting to see what they do here. Slippery Rock so far, only 7 points through the first 4.5 minutes of this basketball game.
And that foul was on Danielle Garout. So Garout picks up that foul. Some substitutions for Slippery Rock as Shannon Jack enters the basketball game, as does Mallory Hindley. Soria Ranger also comes in for Slippery Rock. She's number 34 in black. And here's Shannon Jack just into the game to Siggers. Step back Jay. Too short. Rebounded though. Controlled by Hindley. And there's a shot for Shannon Jack coming into the game and heating up. And we talked about this bench. Slippery Rock likes to send in some reserves at times, and their bench is going to really have to perform well for this team tonight.
Well, nice skill by Jack on display right there. She was able to pull up, hit the soft floater over top of Stoner.
And Lindsay Stamp feeling it here this evening. Her third 3 of the night. Give her 9 points here in the early going of this one.
IUP off to a nice start offensively, 6 of 9 from the field, including 4 of 6 from downtown.
And there's a shot countering back, no good for Slippery Rock. Matthew runs out for the Crimson Hawks. Nice work by Slippery Rock getting back defensively, setting up in that zone as well. Stamp has to kick to Jeanne. Ball movement, I thought Stoner was gonna hit a 3, and there was a pass that sailed into the first row here at the Kowalczyk Center.
A little miscommunication there on the wing between Mathe and Stamp. Actually Stoner threw the ball cross court, which is a long pass. You don't really want to see that, and landed right in between the two players, Stamp and Mathe. A little confusion there, didn't get to the basketball. But real quick, Josh, you talked about rebounding difference earlier. Slippery Rock struggling with that on the season. You look at second chance points already today. Slippery Rock only has 2, while IUP already has 6. So that's going to be interesting, something to keep your eye on as we move forward, that inside battle.
Rebecca Olkowski comes into the game, the junior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the game for the Rock, number 32. Here's Jack. There's Stapleton. Audrey Stapleton in the basketball game for Slippery Rock. Audrey drives inside, and that shot is blocked. Megan Smith in for IUP, so teams really throwing some fresh faces out there, and there's Marina Wareham, number 10. Another 3 ball coming for Stamp, and she can't convert, but a rebound is battled for and controlled, and they'll pick up a foul call. It looked like Jeanne had it for just a moment, but she lost it and then committed that foul.
Yeah, committed the hold there, going for that loose ball off a missed shot. You see that a lot on the missed shot. Players going for that rebound and then reach in occurs, but Brooks has done a very nice job. Coming in off the bench, she's added a nice spark for IUP. She has a bucket, but she's made some nice plays on that last offensive possession for Slippery Rock. She plugged the lane and not let the dribbler get to the basket.
And there's a pass almost stolen away, but Slippery Rock gets it back. And here's Olkowski setting up in the forecourt for the Rock.
And Slippery Rock has struggled to get the ball inside against this zone.
And there's a block from behind the arc there for Lindsay Stamp, and there's a deep 3 forced up at the buzzer. IUP maintains it, and Olkowski had to shoot one there. The shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, shot clock was at 2. That forced her to put up about a 28-footer, but nice job by IUP's zone. They're keeping the ball outside, not allowing any inside penetration.
And there's a foul call, and it will be important to see if IUP can match the desperation, because Slippery Rock, you want to talk about a desperate team, they really need to pick up some wins here later in the season to get into the PSAC tournament. And that would be a tremendous accomplishment for Slippery Rock under first season head coach Bobby McGraw.
You look at Coach McGraw, he's looking to take this team to the postseason for the first time since the 2005-2006 season. And he's done a nice job. They've won 3 out of 4 games, and they're playing the right way that you want to be doing as you enter into possible postseason play.
Here's a 3 ball coming for Marita, no good, but a rebound by Megan Smith. She'll get it back off the window. She can't convert. Jeanne can't control. And looking at this Slippery Rock coaching staff as well, it's also nice to see Ryan Micheletti back. She is in her first year at Slippery Rock. She was here as a assistant coach last year for the IUP Crimson Hawks, and one of the best people you'll really meet anywhere. She's just a great person, and she's been a big part of this Slippery Rock rebuild.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job here last year at IUP. I know they didn't like to see her go.
Yeah.
She ends up in a nice place at Slippery Rock, and it seems like they have the ball rolling under your first-year coach, Bobby McGraw.
And there's another turnover for the IUP Crimson Hawks, make it 3 on the evening. Slippery Rock only with 1 so far.
Slippery Rock has done a nice job. Now, offensively for Slippery Rock, they're shooting 5 of 15 from the field, 33%. So they have to start getting those shots to go down to stay in this game.
Chambers going to work inside. She's fouled and almost got it to go. Nice work by DeAsia in midair to try to corral that basketball.
And Coach McConnell doesn't like that call. It's called by the far side official, the center official from the opposite sideline looking through there from her position. So tough call in that distance, but it's the right call.
When you look at the leading scores for Slippery Rock, DeAsia Chambers sits at the top of the list, 16.4 points per game. She's also second in the conference in scoring, right behind IUP's Lindsay Stamp. Second on the team is Taylor Siggers, 11.2 points per game, and third on the team is Erica Aiello, who we have not seen so far this evening. She's at 9.1 points per game. Slippery Rock only 2 players in double figures.
You talked about, Josh, it all starts and ends with Chambers, a senior, 5'11", out of Farrell, second leading scorer in the conference. So look for her to get the ball early and often.
And there's the PSAC Player of the Week coming back. And Slippery Rock has a claim to that title in their own right, but that's for the next game, Eric, with PSAC Player of the Week. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And there's Chambers, and she walked with it. Trying to work inside, and that is a stoppage of play for our under 12 media timeout. Crimson Hawks basketball comes back after this break. It's IUP 22, Slippery Rock 12.
It's hard to explain. It just became home. There are hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes and faculty that really get to know you. Amazing internships and everywhere, programs that help to find a job that is right for you. It's what IUP is about, a commitment to your success. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Welcome back into the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. Some conversation here as IUP and Slippery Rock play this one. And take a look at this graphic here, our impact players for tonight, Ashley Stoner and DeAsia Chambers, 2 players that have really had a big impact here this evening. DeAsia Chambers currently sits at 5 points, and that leads the way for Slippery Rock here this evening. But some good defense by IUP. They forced Slippery Rock into a couple of turnovers, and Slippery Rock hasn't done too bad either, but Lindsay Stamp has heated up a bit from behind the arc.
Yeah, IUP has 5 threes on the night, 5 of 9 from behind the line. That's 15 points there, and Slippery Rock's only hit 1, so that's a 12-point differential in this basketball game.
Stamp has it and kicks it to Marita, back out. Stamp will have to put up a 3, and she'll swirl it home. You can't leave Lindsay Stamp open. I'm sure that Slippery Rock has preached that all week in practice, but early on, she's really lighting Slippery Rock up. She's now in with 12.
Nice patience by IUP. Moved the ball around, found the open look for threes. Stamp, that's her 4th 3 of the night, 4 or 5, but shot clock was winding down on that possession too and able to convert.
Shot clock winding down for Slippery Rock here. They're currently at 5, and they kick it out. Driving baseline and putting that shot up and in is Slippery Rock's Megan Hardiman. A bit tough to see these numbers, Eric, with the black jerseys and the green numbers, so I do ask fans to bear with us a bit here. That white trim helps a bit, but sometimes in the heat of battle, It's a little tough. Matthew three ball coming, and it's up and down.
Nice extra pass by Marina Wehrman to find the wide open three in the corner. You look at IUP right now, Josh, that is already their 7th three-pointer of this basketball game. 7 of 11 from three-point range, and Slippery Rock 1 of 4. So that's a huge differential of 18 points. And you look at it, Slippery Rock is up, or excuse me, trailing 28-14, and IUP has led this entire basketball game.
30-second timeout by Slippery Rock. They need to discuss their plan of attack here, and as we said, it's certainly worth mentioning again. 3 games left to play here in the regular season. Slippery Rock 6th in the PSAC West, 10-13, 6-13 in conference play. Tied with Pitt Johnstown, but they hold that tiebreaker, so they really need to have a good showing down the stretch to make it into the PSAC tournament.
When you look at the remaining schedule, they play here tonight, and then on Saturday they play at Clarion, but the last game of the season they play at home against Cal, who we talked about earlier. They're the number 2 team right now in the Atlantic region. So you look at Slippery Rock's final 3 games, 2 of them come against the top 3 teams in the Atlantic region. So not an easy schedule to finish out the season.
Yeah, if Slippery Rock wants to play postseason basketball, they'll get a full taste of it here coming down the stretch. Clarion having a down year, but IUP, of course, ranked 9th in the country, and California 1st place in the conference as well. So 2 premier teams in the PSAC.
Well, if Slippery Rock does get into that tournament for the first time in 9 years, they will have earned it. There's no doubt about that, winning. If they can pull off 1 or 2 victories over these last 3 games.
Leslie Stapleton checked in for the IUP Crimson Hawks. Stamp almost threw it away. There was good defense there by Chambers. Crimson Hawks have to try to get a look to the basket here with 9 on the shot clock. Kicks it. Smith, 3 ball coming, and it's good. Crimson Hawks absolutely lighted it up. 8 3-pointers for IUP here in the first half.
Nice to see contributions from the bench. You talked about it in the pregame at the beginning of this game, Josh. Megan Smith, a 6-foot freshman coming in off the bench and hitting a 3. And you can see there was an adjustment there. Slippery Rock switched to a man-to-man defense on that possession.
They just have not been able to close out on these IUP 3-point shooters. And there's a 3-pointer for Taylor Siggers, the junior. Converts on the scoreboard, and that's her first 3 of the night.
Yeah, first bucket. She had been 0 for 3 before that. But you look at Slippery Rock, only 5 3-pointers attempted, 2 converted. So IUP had 8 of 12 from 3-point range, but a turnover on that possession. That'll be IUP's 4th turnover of the first half.
Slippery Rock returns Shannon Jack, Megan Hardiman, and Audrey Stapleton into the game. And Amy Fairman is back on the IUP bench with a wrap, perhaps some ice around that right ankle. She is back on the bench putting her warm-ups on as we speak. And another 3-ball coming. Taylor Siggers doing her best Lindsay Stamp impression, hitting a couple of 3s in a row here.
Well, back-to-back 3s for Siggers, and you can look at what IUP is doing. Nice defense by Siggers coming up with the strip and steal, so she's adding some energy.
And a nice lead pass for Megan Hardiman, and she lays it in. Good work by Hardiman. She really had all her momentum going away from the basket to stop up and get that angle toward the hoop.
Fantastic look by Siggers up the floor, is able to push it, and Hardiman converted with the layup.
Stoner going to work. Stoner step back, Jay. No good, but if Ashley Stoner can add that to her game, she's going to be pretty much unstoppable to defend. That's a lot of what Deasia Chambers does, and you see the success that those 2 players have had this season. Just tremendous down in the low block. Here's a 3-ball coming for Shannon Jack. No good, but an offensive rebound for Slippery Rock, and Hardiman will reset a bit here.
Mathay and Smith didn't box out on the play, allowed Hardiman to grab that rebound.
Swing pass, and a 3-ball is no good. IUP will slow it down a bit with some substitutions coming in. 2 players for Slippery Rock, 1 for IUP. Right side to Stamp. Lindsay Stamp controlling. She's been the MVP so far here in the early portions anyway. Bounce pass to Stoner. That's a miss for Ashley, and Slippery Rock counters back ahead. Hardiman again. Can she get it again? And she does. A little bit of deja vu for Slippery Rock there as Taylor Siggers finds Megan Hardiman open for 2.
That's twice that Hardiman has beaten Megan Smith down the floor and gotten a layup. But again, nice look, way to keep your head up. If you're Slippery Rock and convert that long pass, you're going to get easy layup. So nice job as they creep back within 7.
And Stamp can't convert there, but a nice follow by Stapleton. She'll miss. That's an easy look and one that you have to really convert. Relatively open for Stapleton there. And countering back, 3-ball, and don't look now, but here come the Rock. And it's now a 5-point game, 2-pointer. They rule that, and a timeout for the Crimson Hawks.
Siggers making some major contributions here. It's her third 3-pointer. She has 9 points. She's 3 of 3 from beyond the arc and adding 3 assists as well compared to only 1 turnover. So you look at what they've done here, and this is a quick 8-2 run. Forced Slippery Rock to crawl back into this game 31-26. So interesting to see what adjustments Tom McConnell makes here during this timeout, but good timeout by him. But you look at what Slippery Rock has done defensively after switching to that man-to-man defense. They've really kind of stifled the IUP offense, who was really relying on that perimeter shooting to begin the game.
So let's take a look at the Stapletons here as we have a bit of time. Audrey Stapleton and Leslie Stapleton. Audrey Stapleton, she's had a good year for Slippery Rock. She's really gained some more minutes here in the latter portion. She averages 5 points per game, and Leslie Stapleton, one of the better 3-point shooters on this team, averages just under 10 points per game. And both of these players will be back next year. Audrey only a sophomore, Leslie only a junior. She had an injury, so she redshirted the year, redshirt junior. But last time IUP and Slippery Rock did battle at Slippery Rock, it was very interesting as IUP and Slippery Rock played there. Leslie and Audrey guarded each other for the majority of that game, so very cool. You look here at one of the luxury suites here at the Kowalczyk Center, you'll see the Stapleton family with some very clever t-shirts, Slippery Rock and IUP logo. I don't know if they're sure they know where their loyalties lie here tonight.
I think they just want to see both of them play well.
Yeah.
They'll be happy to go home with whoever wins.
Jeanne drives all the way. She's hacked, and that's a foul call. Good aggressive take by Jeanne Brooks, and I believe they'll pick up Ranger on that one.
A good aggressive take to the basket, able to draw contact, get the foul, and she'll go to the line. Foul on Shannon Jack. Let's see if Brooks can convert on her 2 free throws.
A couple of players in the vicinity, they pick up Jack, as you said, Eric. So that's 5 team fouls for the Rock here in this one now at the 6:11 mark of our telecast this evening, first half of play. Slippery Rock's gone on a nice run here prior to that IUP timeout. You look, they had a 13-point run to try to crawl back into it. Still down by 5, however. And there's a shot that's no good. Marita Matthey with some lax defense, but she'll counter quickly. Crimson Hawks look to run. Right side. Jeanne drives and will hand back off to Marita. Some good defense from Slippery Rock here on this possession. Stapleton all the way, and she will get pushed as she tried to dump it off to Alexis Aiken, making her first appearance here tonight.
They're going to call that foul on Rebecca Olkowski. Pittsburgh product out of Bishop Canevin, but with a push, IUP is going to now take possession of the basketball under the hoop, but that is the 6th team foul on Slippery Rock. So the rest of the way, IUP will be shooting the 1-and-1.
Taylor Siggers, Diaja Chambers, and Danielle Garut are in the game for Slippery Rock. No Erica Aiello here tonight. We have not seen her so far.
And that's an advantage for IUP. She's their leading assist maker as well at 3.5 a game.
IUP's leading assist maker decides to get in on the score, and as she hits a 3, and that's 9 points for the floor general for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Matthey continuing, coming off of that PSAC Player of the Week award last week, and continuing here, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, 9 points.
There's Diaja Chambers going to work, and that is just magnificent.
And that's what she does. Nice patience, able to get the defender off their feet, slide through and hit that jumper. Nice job by Chambers.
Slippery Rock fans are very lucky to be able to get to watch her every single night. Stoner going to work. She misses. Slippery Rock counters back with numbers. Chambers leading the charge. Chambers all the way, and she'll head to the line. Good aggressiveness. And DeAsia will head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, nice job, nice drive. Going in on the defense. She had the defense moving back on their heels. Took advantage, took it to the basket, and now going to go to the line and shoot 2. And you look at Chambers, 3 of 5 from the field tonight, Josh. 7 points and 1 rebound. She's 1 of 2 from the line.
Ashley Stoner now gimpy. She's flexing her knee and ankle, and she's going to head back to the IUP locker room. Maybe she's just going to walk it off here. But Ashley Stoner leaves the game with Lindsay Stamp coming in. So Stoner walking around back there very gingerly on that right leg.
Well, 2 injuries IUP having to deal with Stoner, and earlier with Amy Fairman going down, who has yet to make an appearance in this basketball game since being injured. So you hope that both of them will be all right and able to come back and make a contribution.
Fairman now in a walking boot. So that's not a good sign for IUP. And maybe not even this game, but you have to think about any long-term effects that any injuries could have for both teams. If they lose some key contributors going down the stretch, that can seriously be a detriment as Stamp drives all the way and puts it up off the glass and in. Lindsay Stamp has put on a clinic here in the first half, and she's got a nice total of 14 points here tonight.
Yeah, nice balanced scoring, but Stamp is really connected.
And DeAsia Chambers comes back for 2, so starting to go back and forth here. Chambers now in double figures with 11 points already.
Slippery Rock sticking with this man-to-man.
Aiken controls, 5 on the shot clock. She's got to kick it. Step, stop, and pop for Lindsay Stamp is good. You got to be kidding me. Lindsay Stamp with her 5th three-pointer of the night. And it's not like that was really bad defense out there by Slippery Rock. Lindsay Stamp's just in a zone here.
No, nice job by Stamp. Came off the screen, set her feet, caught the pass, hit the shot, but her 5th three-pointer of the first half.
Audrey Stapleton can't convert on the inside shot. Crimson Hawks counter quickly. Stamp, jump shot, no good. But Aiken's there for the rebound. Stamp, 3-ball coming once again. She missed that, but right there to lay it in is Jeanne Brooks. And Eric, you notice they put Chambers there on Lindsay Stamp, who came in for Stoner. And that is quite a tough task for DeAsia Chambers. Normally guarding players more in the post. She's got to follow Lindsay all over the court.
Which is a benefit as well for IUP when you look at the fact that Chambers, who averages 10 rebounds a game, is not underneath the basket to collect missed shots.
There's a 3-ball that's bricked by Siggers, and Matthew controls.
Let's see what IUP does here, up by 10. Able to push this lead possibly up to 12 or 13 as we approach the 2.5-minute mark.
Ashley Stoner tending to herself there with Jeanne converting. Stoner on the bench now for IUP. She's tending to her leg there. So that's got to be the story of the night, Eric. Yeah, Fairman and Stoner both out.
Interesting to see the development that comes with that, because as you mentioned, Josh, there's not a lot of time.
And there's a 3-ball, a 2-pointer. They'll go with a 2-pointer there for Audrey Stapleton. Foot must have been right on the line. And nonetheless, she's on the board with 2.
Going back to that point about the injuries, there's a week left in the PSAC season. Nice play defensively.
Chambers takes it. She takes it, and she's heading the other way. Chambers, and that's going to be a travel call as Chambers penetrated into the lane, and we will have our final stoppage of play for media timeouts here in the first half. Crimson Hawks up by 10. We'll be right back here on IUP TV, streaming live on BacklightTV.com.
The brain is a remarkable organ. It's almost infinite in its capacity. Its ability to reach its full potential is limited by only one thing: the heart. For if the heart isn't fully engaged in what you're doing, if you have no drive, no passion, the brain will simply go through the motions. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network, ladies and gentlemen. It's IUP basketball here tonight. Having some technical difficulties with our replay. Josh Hill, Eric Cormos, David Lind in the booth here tonight. So happy you've joined us on a cold and blustery Wednesday evening. Crimson Hawks going to work here. Stoner up off the glass and in. Ashley Stoner working that entire lane, getting body position, and she is one of the hardest players to defend in the conference.
Well, she uses that frame, her body frame well, able to use that shoulder, clear out some space, and hit the layup, but not do it in such an aggressive manner that it draws the offensive foul.
And it's good to mention, Stoner back in the game. She had left with a bit of an injury to her leg, so good to see Ashley back. Bounce pass inside. John A. going to work. Slippery Rock's played good defense so far this possession. And that's kind of been the theme for Slippery Rock here tonight. They've played good defense. IUP hits a shot, maybe 10 seconds to go, 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, and we're winding down here in the first half. Now with 3, but that's a travel call. Turnover number 7 on the night as Stamp and Chambers return for this one.
Well, if you're Slippery Rock, you have to feel pretty good overall, really, Josh. You've allowed IUP to shoot 55% from the field, 10 of 16, 63% from three-point range, yet you're only down by a dozen, which is, that's a 4-possession basketball game, but you're lucky you could be down by a lot more when you consider how many three-pointers you've given up. And they also, I mean, you look at the rebounding, they are getting out-rebounded 18-12, and second chance points, Slippery Rock only has 2 compared to 8 for IUP, so Slippery Rock very fortunate to still be in this basketball game.
Here's Audrey Stapleton, right side, driving in and missing that shot was Siggers, and Stamp controls.
See IUP hold the ball here for final possession, final shot of the first half.
They will try to get a look going towards the basket, now down to 10 on the clock. Stoner works to Stamp. You'd think she'd be the go-to. Down to 3. She's got to put up a shot. Stoner, it's knocked away. Heave at the buzzer is no good, and we are heading to halftime here at the Kowalczyk Center. Crimson Hawks on top, 46-34. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Crimson Hawks Sports Network halftime report. Scores, stats, analysis, and highlights all coming your way in just a moment right here on IUP TV.
Success. We see it every day. Hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes, internationally known faculty who are committed to your success. Real-world experiences to guide you on your career and life path. An alumni network 120,000 strong. I'm IUP President Mike Driscoll. Visit us. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network here on the Crimson Hawks Sports Network halftime report as we wind down, get ready for the second half of play. Your score, IUP 46, Slippery Rock 34. Josh Hill, Eric Cormos, David Lind in the booth. David Lind enjoying this song here. And Eric, let's go ahead and look over these halftime statistics.
Yeah, we'll start off with the road team, Slippery Rock. Deasia Chambers leading the way for Slippery Rock with 11 points, but only 1 rebound, came into this game averaging 10 per contest, and the second leading scorer in PSAC play. Chambers, as we said, 11 points, also 1 steal and a couple of turnovers. Other than that, you look at Taylor Siggers, 2 of 3 from three-point range, 8 points. She also has 5 assists. For IUP, they are led by guard Lindsay Stamp, 5 of 8 from three-point range with 17 points and 3 rebounds. And Marita Mathe continuing her hot streak from last week into this week. She has 9 points, 3 of 3 from the field, all 3 of her shots being three-pointers, also adding 4 rebounds and an assist. Looking at the glass, Josh, IUP out-rebounding Slippery Rock 19-12 in the first half, but really the story, the shots from behind the arc for Slippery Rock and IUP. IUP making 10 of 16 shots, while Slippery Rock only hitting on 3 of 9 from three-point range, and IUP holding Slippery Rock to shooting at 43% in the first half compared to 55% for the Lady Crimson Hawks.
And there you have it, first half stats, and we are underway with Slippery Rock inbounding to begin the second half. Siggers will pull up for a quick three, no good. Stamp rebounds. And of course, Eric, you said it, and the number that stands out is 17, because that is the amount that Lindsay Stamp scored in the first half. Incredible for Lindsay.
17 points, 17 minutes.
And there's Janae Brooks with a quick two. And IUP's the first on the board here in the second half.
And Brooks has done a very nice job stepping in for the injured Amy Fairman, who is, as you mentioned, Josh, on the bench with a boot on, unlikely to return today. So Brooks, very nice job. 9 points off the bench and 4 rebounds.
And there's a nice drive and score by Taylor Siggers all the way. She got the friendly roll here on the road.
And that will put Siggers into double digits with 10 points.
Stamp has it. Leslie's been quiet here tonight, and Marita Matthey, that shot is off. Looked like she forced it a bit. Good defense and closeout by Slippery Rock as well.
A quick trigger there, nice rebound inside by Bridget McClure, Marion center product.
And there's a no shot to get the foul on the floor as Siggers drove the lane.
And fouls on Marita Matthey.
Still haven't seen Erica Aiello. We didn't hear anything coming in about any kind of injury, perhaps. So we'll have to try to maybe get an update and see what we can learn in that regard. But Chambers has it. She will try to split the double team, but no good.
Good aggressive take by Chambers. Nice defense by Brooks. Forced her to that left hand, and Chambers was not able to connect.
Lindsay wants the basketball there. You can see her on the left side. She was just waiting, ready to step into a three ball. Didn't get it, though.
And Slippery Rock has gone back to his zone defensively.
Good look underneath. Stoner has it. Stoner up and in. And that 2-3, Ashley Stoner got position between her and the basket, and she converts. Guarding Stoner there was Danielle Garut.
And Stoner now 9 points, 3 rebounds on 4 of 7 shooting.
Garut will pull up for 3, and Brickett goes over top, so that'll be IUP's ball at the 17:52 mark. Crimson Hawks have reached the 50-point plateau. Slippery Rock staying in it. They had a nice run of 13 points in the first half to cut this to a 5-point game, but the way IUP shooting the ball, it's tough.
IUP has just been consistent, and when you're shooting over 50% from the field, you had to feel very confident that you're going to end up with a victory.
And here's a deep 2 for Lindsay, and she converts. Lindsay Stamp now with 19 on the night.
7 of 12 from the field, 4 boards, excellent job for Stamp stepping up with the injury to Fairman as well, picking up some of that scoring.
Stapleton dumps it underneath to Garut. Garut, that shot is no good. Matthey controls off the tip. Lead pass ahead to Janae Brooks all the way. She's hacked and will go to the line. Hard foul. And good sportsmanship there by Chambers to help out Janae Brooks there. Didn't mean to nearly take her head off, but she almost did, Eric.
Yeah, Chambers going for the basketball. It's a basketball play, hard foul. And you're going to get that as Brooks is going to go to the foul line here. But IUP starting to pull away a little bit, Josh. Up 16 now. As they have gone on a nice run to start this half, a 6-2 run to start the half, and make that 7-2 run to start the half. And Slippery Rock right now kind of grasping at straws, trying to stay in this basketball game. But IUP is doing a nice job pushing it, controlling the pace, getting out off those rebounds, getting the long pass, and able to extend this lead to 17, possibly 18, if Brooks can connect on the second free throw.
And she can't. Shannon Jack back in, and she controls for Slippery Rock. Next up for Slippery Rock, as you said, Eric, is Clarion University. Next up for the IUP Crimson Hawks on Saturday, they'll hit the road once again, and they'll face UPJ, and that's Audrey Stapleton for 2.
Nice to see Stapleton get another basket. She's 2 of 4 from the floor tonight, with 4 points. So good to see her making a contribution off the bench.
The Stapletons guarding each other as we speak. Stamp plows over somebody and then gets it back and kicks it back out. That was Garut that she ran into. And there's a shot that's no good. Check that. That was Ranger that Stoner plowed over. Back ahead is Stapleton going to work, and she'll head to the line as Leslie fouls Audrey there.
Nice move by Audrey Stapleton. Got Leslie on her heels, moving back to the basket, able to draw the contact on the hip and go to the line for two. But a nice aggressive take by the younger Stapleton on her older sister.
The Stapleton family's just got something in the water there. It must be something in that household, because Riley and Dylan are lighting it up for Indiana high school basketball. Of course, Riley Stapleton committing to James Madison University to play football. And how about this, Eric? He's the only player in the Indiana County area to have 1,000 yards receiving since the local paper here was created way back when. So that's quite a feat. And like I said, must be something in the water at the Stapleton household.
Some good genes. And that's going to be a foul on Soraya Ranger, 6'3" junior out of Skokie, Illinois, as we take our media timeout.
We're at the 15:57 mark in our telecast here this evening, and we will step out with a 13-point lead for the IUP Crimson Hawks. Stay tuned, everybody.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful
Ever since I can remember, I have loved theater and I have loved acting. I also have a passion for working with kids with special needs. Indiana University of Pennsylvania helped make both of my dreams come true. I'm Trisha Ray Stahl. I'm a 1998 graduate of IUP, and I'm a working actress. I have a recurring role on Fox Television's Glee, and I also work with kids with special needs. IUP, find your success.
To the Crimson Hawks Sports Network, there you see Lindsay Stamp with a deep two-pointer, and she's really lit it up from behind the arc. Josh Hill, Eric Hormos, Tommy Casella is our director here this evening, and Eric, his coaching staff, of course, Ryan Micheletti returning to IUP here tonight, and Kelly Mazzanti for the IUP Crimson Hawks, the new assistant. She has played a large role in getting this whole Pink Out Coleman game together. She's worked tirelessly to put this effort on.
Well, it's a nice touch as you have your second to last home game of the season. Nice turnout, lots of pink around the arena on both sides, both Slippery Rock and IUP fans supporting the cause.
So Siggers controls running the point, and she's a good one for Slippery Rock. She's really better than the numbers indicate for her. Here's a three ball coming up and no good. Rebound to Stoner. That was Hardiman putting the three ball up. Megan Hardiman, kind of a hybrid player, can play the guard or the forward position. And a lot like Lindsay Stamp for IUP, really.
That's what you like coming off of the bench. Someone with versatility, you can plug them in multiple positions. They can play their role and do it effectively.
Stamp drives and kicks left side, back out. Stapleton will dump it underneath. Stoner all the way off the glass and good. And that is just hours of work by Ashley Stoner. You can tell she practices that shot. That's one of her go-to moves.
Nice job by Stoner going up against Ranger, who actually is 6'3" compared to Stoner 6'1". So Ashley giving up a couple inches there, but nice body control.
And there's a foul call on Jeanne, as Slippery Rock will send 4 players in at this next whistle. And we'll update you as that happens. I see Deasia Chambers down on the floor, getting set to come back in for Slippery Rock.
Now Ranger goes to the line looking for her first points of the evening. A 6'3" junior from Skokie, Illinois.
Slippery Rock as a team 5 of 6 from the line. And coming in for the Rock, Mallory Heinley is back in. Chambers returns as well, as does Rebecca Olkowski.
And Slippery Rock coach Bobby McGraw really seems to like those multiple substitutions. You can see patterns evolving here tonight. 2, 3, 4 players at a time. Nice rebound by Chambers inside, unable to convert on the putback.
And that's a bad bounce for Slippery Rock. It goes in the favor of the Crimson Hawks, but good rebound by Chambers. Tipped out and controlled. Matthew going to work. Bounces to Leslie, inside to Lindsay. Lindsay Stamp. Slippery Rock has played good defense tonight, but IUP is just lighting it up, and they're shooting the ball well. That's a lot of what IUP's doing. There's a block, and Chambers, or check that, Ranger's going to take it and dishes to Chambers. Chambers lays it in. So that was Ranger who got the block, dishes off to Chambers, and she finishes it off.
And nice work by Ranger, able to get the block, control the ball, dribble it up the floor, kept her head up. Chambers able to excel and accelerate and able to get to that basket and finish.
There's a 3-ball coming, no good. And take a look down at the floor, Eric. Soria Ranger and Diaja Chambers, they look very similar. At least to me, they do.
Yep,
both have the pink headband and the ponytail and similar build.
Similar height, similar build, as you talked about, Josh.
Here's Diaja right now taking it, and she draws some contact, gets it back, and it's blocked away. Gets it back again and finishes. Talk about persistence and a will to compete. Diaja Chambers does it.
Yeah, Lindsay Stamp hit the floor trying to draw the charge on Chambers. Doesn't get the call from the underneath official, and Chambers able to stick with it and put it in. And now Slippery Rock is back to within 10 as we approach the 13-minute mark.
Give credit to Slippery Rock hanging around against this IUP team. There's a shot that's no good. Matthew gets it back and will drive in, throw it away. Stamp has to get it because Chambers can, and is going to go out of bounds. So Slippery Rock basketball, and another line change here for the Slippery Rock team as I see Shannon Jack back in, and I believe we're going to have ourselves a timeout on the floor as teams head to the bench. And the referee's saying it's not time for our media timeout, so get back on the floor, you hooligans. Look at them.
Yep, some confusion out here. Referees, or maybe the table thought there was going to be a media timeout on the dead ball situation there as we're under 14 minutes, but apparently not.
Yeah, both teams went to the bench like they were ready for the timeout, and the officials said not so fast. So Mallory Heinley is in for Slippery Rock, as is Megan Hardiman. You also have Danielle Garut, Shannon Jack, and Taylor Siggers into the basketball game. So some substitutions coming fast and furious, keeping us on our toes, Eric, for sure. There's a nice drive and a high shot off the glass by Taylor Siggers. She's in with 12 for Slippery Rock, second leading scorer for them here this evening.
Nice drive by Siggers, able to get by Marina Wareham at the top of the key, penetrate, and now it's Slippery Rock's got this lead down to single digits.
And there's a shot that's no good. Battle for the loose ball, and they'll get a foul call as a couple of players hit the deck hard. Good compete level.
Yeah.
You can sense the desperation for Slippery Rock. They're coming to play here tonight, and if they can get into the PSAC tournament, they're a dangerous team. And I know we say that about everybody, but when you see what they're out here doing, you have to, at the very least, respect it.
Well, we talked about it coming in. They've won 3 or 4 basketball games, and they've hung in there. They could have easily have folded. There's been a couple times tonight they've been down by 15, 16 points, but they keep scratching their way back into this basketball game, and now they're down by 8, looking to cut then more into that lead. A nice job defensively by Stoner, taking away that basket. The ball was deflected, and IUP wasn't able to get to it as it goes out of bounds on the baseline. And Slippery Rock will reset here with 15 on the shot clock, inbounding just to the right of their own basket.
So it's an 8-point game. You talk about how Slippery Rock has been able to hang in there. This is a far cry from what happened last time these two teams met. Crimson Hawks cruised by the Rock with a 73-45 victory. It was really dominant. The game was pretty much over by halftime. So IUP and Slippery Rock, a bit more competitive this time, and that's the way we like it here in the booth, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Much rather call a good game than a blowout.
Siggers steps out and hits the corner J. Taylor Siggers now with 14 for Slippery Rock. And they're beginning to feel it here. It's down to a 6-point edge for the Crimson Hawks.
Siggers also adding 5 assists, so she's contributing as well when she's not scoring.
Stapleton will pop for 3 and convert. Leslie Stapleton from downtown.
And nice to see her get on the board. She was 0 of 5 from the field before that shot, so that gives her 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and now 3 points. Big shot, though, to change the momentum and swing it away from Slippery Rock.
Stapleton was 0 of 3 from behind the arc before getting that one to go. Now 1 of 6 on the night overall. And there's a basket and foul for Slippery Rock's Danielle Garut.
And Slippery Rock's made a concerted effort to get Garut more involved in this basketball game as the second half has rolled on, and it's paid off as now she's going to go back to the line here and look to finish the three-point play.
Stoner picks up her third foul, and now it's our under 12 media timeouts. Players head to their respective benches, and we'll take a break. 7-point game. We'll be right back here on IUP TV.
I did everything right. I went to college, graduated with honors, but I'm just not getting to where I want to be. I need to get to the next level. What am I missing? Where are these people going? What do they have that I don't? How do I get that edge, that hands-on experience that will put me ahead of the competition? Graduate school at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at
Welcome back into the Crimson Hawks Sports Network, and Eric, and there you see Danielle Garut's hooping the harm, and she'll go to the line now. Nice play by her.
A nice job by Garut. She's able to seal off Ashley Stoner on the block. Took the inside pass there, able to turn around quickly, convert, and draw the body contact foul on Stoner. And Garut going back to the line. But what's important here, Josh, as well, is we saw the three-pointer for Lindsay Stamp for IUP. So Slippery Rock able to respond and hit that three-point play of their own, and again pull back to within 6 points. It's a two-possession game, which I don't think anybody saw this coming when IUP was up by 18 much earlier here in the second half.
Yeah, Slippery Rock has held it together. They really have. There have been points, like you said, you thought, okay, this could be where it gets ugly, and there's a wide open look with a nice pass from Lindsay Stamp to Jeanne Brooks, cutting in and scoring.
Nice cut by Brooks for Slippery Rock. Megan Hardiman got caught defensively at the top of the key, and IUP was able to take advantage.
And there's a knock away by Stamp as Deasia Chambers lost it. We'd also like to welcome many Slippery Rock fans watching us here this evening on BacklightTV.com. Hope you're enjoying the live stream here tonight, courtesy of the IUP Communications Media Department. So Chambers goes to work on Brooks, and this is quite a matchup here. Some real athleticism. Chambers, and there's a push-off.
A little too much body by Jeanne Brooks out front. That's a big matchup for Brooks, and she's able to stick with Chambers like that. Chambers just able to get a step on her, and now you look at Slippery Rock's going to be able to inbound the basketball here underneath their own hoop.
Brooks also picks up her third foul, so both Stoner and Jeanne Brooks with 3 fouls, and those are two of the mainstays in the low post for IUP. And there's Garut. It's blocked by Megan Smith. Stapleton counters ahead, dishes right side. Matthew back out to Smith. Smith floater is no good, but she gets it back. Good work. Back to Matthew. 3 ball coming, no good. And Chambers has it back. Chambers counters all the way, and she scores. Good work by Deasia Chambers.
Nice body control, able to go use that left hand and get around Lindsay Stamp, and again, it's back to a 6-point game.
Make it 17 on the night for Deasia tonight. And there's another steal. And there's a bit of contact, and some players get back late. Chambers running out, stops up and scores. Deasia Chambers with 19, and she scored a couple of baskets in a row very nicely. Don't look now, Eric, it's a 4-point game.
Yeah, Chambers is getting hot here in the second half, and that's exactly what IUP did not want. Did a nice job of containing her in the first 20 minutes.
Chambers going to work in transition, also with Stoner on the bench. Jeanne can't convert the corner J. Siggers rebounds and runs out for Slippery Rock. They're looking to get out and transition a bit more. Siggers all the way, she's fouled. And the Slippery Rock bench, you can see they're starting to feel it a little bit, getting a little more into this game.
Slippery Rock has done a very nice job of getting the rebound. One pass, gone up the floor. And they're able to get back before IUP has a chance to set up that defense. And Siggers and Chambers doing a nice job being aggressive, taking it to the hoop and drawing fouls. And you look at Siggers here, hits on the first end of the 2. IUP now has 17 fouls. here in the second half. So the rest of the way over the final 9:48, Slippery Rock will be shooting 1-1. And on the flip side, Slippery Rock with only 2 team fouls thus far. So Slippery Rock has positioned themselves well for the stretch run in this basketball game.
Slippery Rock shoots just over 73% as a team from the line. Stoner back in for the IUP Crimson Hawks. She comes in with 3 fouls. We're at the 9:43 mark of our game here this evening.
Reach foul called.
Megan Hardiman picks up her second foul coming in for Slippery Rock. Rebecca Olkowski, the 5'3" junior, comes in. Fadeaway J for Stamp, and she gets the home roll. Some home cooking there for Lindsay Stamp, fading away.
Nice set play call by Tom McConnell. Stamp was able to come around the screen and hit that little fadeaway jumper.
Crimson Hawks rather have one more home game left this year, as there's a basket by Shannon Jack. Shannon Jack now with her first 2 points of the game. And check that, that is her second basket. And Stamp counters back, 3 ball, no good. Rebounded by Stapleton, back out. Matthew, 3 ball coming, no good. And she got knocked down on the play, nothing called. Slippery Rock counters back, the pace quickens. Olkowski leads the charge. She'll slow up and reset. And as I was saying, Eric, one more home game left for the IUP Crimson Hawks here in the regular season. A senior day matchup against Clarion.
It should be an exciting game. Slippery Rock looking to finish, IUP looking to finish the season strong as they head into PSAC tournament play.
3 ball up and a 3 ball down for Rebecca Olkowski.
That's her first basket of the night. And now we have a tie ball game here, 62-62. Let's see how IUP responds. Slippery Rock has just stayed with it and been consistent.
Stoner back, and that's a big basket for IUP, right over Danielle Garout. And boy, it's beginning to become one of those games back and forth.
Stoner now 13 points on the evening, and if you're IUP and you need a bucket, that's who you're going to.
First lead of the night for the Rock, if they can get it there. Stoner ahead, lays it in. Ashley Stoner counters back with some quick baskets.
Yeah, 2 quick baskets by Stoner. And Coach Bobby McGraw is going to call a 30-second timeout, kind of settle things down here.
And we have a media timeout. It's going to head into a full-length media timeout. So with that, we'll take a quick break. Crimson Hawks back up by 4. Back and forth we go at the Kowalczyk Complex.
To compete for a championship in stadiums full with cheering fans and families. To give back. To say thank you for your support. To learn, grow, and prepare for the future. Ask any NCAA student athlete what they want, and this is what they'll tell you. Ask these student athletes, and they'll say with pride, I chose Division II.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer-lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star, and who can change the world of a 5th grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
Welcome back into the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. And Eric, you see Ashley Stoner going to work. She's got a couple of baskets tonight, and she's in with 15 points for the IUP Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, efficient, 7 of 10 from the field as well for those 15 points. So that's what you want to see, but more importantly, IUP was able to respond. Slippery Rock comes back, or climbs all the way back into it, ties the game at 62, then back-to-back possessions. IUP was able to find Stoner inside. She's able to use that frame of hers, that strength, and able to convert on the inside, and 2 quick buckets, forcing Slippery Rock to take a timeout and see what they do here off of this timeout with 25 seconds on the shot clock.
Interesting, in the first half, Lindsay Stamp had hit a couple of threes, and Slippery Rock had to call a timeout and talk about it. Now, Ashley Stoner comes down on the inside and wreaks havoc on Slippery Rock's game plan, and a missed shot there. Crimson Hawks get it back. Stamp back to Matthew. And Marita will go to Leslie Stapleton. That's a 3-ball, and she's fouled there by Shannon Jack.
Yeah, Jack a little too aggressive on the box out. A little too much contact. They're going to call that a 3-point shot, so they are going to give Stamp 3 free throws.
And we'll take another timeout here at the Kowalczyk Center, so we'll step out here. It's a 4-point game. Crimson Hawks, Slippery Rock. We'll be right back.
The brain is a remarkable organ. It's almost infinite in its capacity. Its ability to reach its full potential is limited by only one thing: the heart. For if the heart isn't fully engaged in what you're doing, if you have no drive, no passion, the brain will simply go through the motions. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Get an inside look here at the goings-on at the KCAC back here on the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. We are at the 7:24 mark of the second half here in our telecast this evening. We hope you're enjoying this one so far, and it's been back and forth. And Eric, you want to talk about back and forth? I think we're going to have one of those coming up in our next game as the IUP men and Slippery Rock men take the floor. One of the oldest rivalries in the PSAC and in college basketball in general.
It's going to be a rematch of a Slippery Rock victory earlier in the season over IUP. And IUP coming into this game struggling, the men's side. Losers of 2 in a row, 2 road games at Mercyhurst and at Edinburgh. So let's see if they're able to rebound from those 2 losses and pick up some momentum heading into the final week of PSAC play.
Crimson Hawks balloon this out to a 7-point edge, so we do encourage you to stay tuned after this one, because Crimson Hawks Sports Network pregame show will be coming your way, getting you set for IUP and Slippery Rock, and then it'll be the main attraction as IUP and Slippery Rock take the floor and square off here in this PSAC West matchup. So gotta love the double headers, women and men taking the floor. And just a fun night of basketball playing.
Well, especially when you have 2 quality teams. The IUP, of course, the only school in Division II with both of their men's and women's basketball team being ranked in the top 25. Both in the top 3 of the regional rankings. As you see, Chambers able to hit the front end of the 1-and-1. And that's going to be something, again, Josh, keep an eye on now. 8 team fouls on IUP and just 2 more. And Slippery Rock will be shooting 2 foul shots the rest of the way.
And if you're Slippery Rock, making foul shots has to become of the utmost importance, because they've been trailing the majority of this game. They've kept it close, and that might be what they need to kind of swing things in their favor.
Well, it's nice, too, for Slippery Rock. You can score without the clock having to move. So it allows you to get some extra possessions.
And they get a foul call there on Siggers. She was just a little bit too aggressive on that closeout there. Picked up the block. And I believe that is number 14, Mallory Heinley, coming back in, the freshman from Natrona Heights.
Another Pittsburgh product, local product. A lot of those scattered throughout both of these rosters.
Smith to Stoner. Stoner back out. Mind you, she's playing with 3 fouls right now. There's a corner 3 for Smith, and she can't convert. Stoner going to work, can't get the rebound, and they're tied up. Stoner and Hardiman are tied up down there.
Now Slippery Rock looks to slow things down.
Driving off the glass, that's no good for Heinley. Here comes IUP back the other way. Matthey all the way. She'll kick it back out. Lindsay Stamp for 3. Splash! Wide open, Eric, for Lindsay Stamp.
And why not? She's 6 of 10 from the field from 3-point range. 24 points, game high. 6 boards, couple of assists, but she just cannot miss tonight from 3-point range.
Lindsay Stamp and Deasia Chambers are putting on a show, and they'll get Megan Smith on a foul there, guarding Chambers. Chambers has very quietly put up 21 points. And here you see nobody within ears shouting distance, I guess you would say, of Lindsay Stamp. Incredible.
Well, it's one thing to get an open look like that, but it's another thing when you're able to convert. And that's where Stamp has really come through tonight. And Slippery Rock as a whole, 10 of 16, excuse me, from 3-point range. It's going to be 12 of 25, as they've only gone 2 of 9 here in the second half after going 10 of 16 in the first half. My apologies.
Lindsay Stamp really lit it up in the first half, and as you said, a bit quiet here in the second. Stoner all the way. They'll get a foul call before she heads to the basket. I think they'll pick Heinley up with that one.
Yeah, Heinley put 2 hands on the defender That's an automatic call anytime the defender places 2 hands on the dribbler. You're going to get that call every time. And now Slippery Rock up to 6 fouls here in the second half, so IUP will be shooting the rest of the way as well from the foul line.
We talked about bench play and how important it's been. It's certainly been that way for both of these teams. 10 players appearing for each team here. So going deep into the bench. Stoner kicks it out. High pass for Stamp. She gets it back. Matthew, 3-ball coming, no good. And Slippery Rock will get it as Chambers lets it sail out of bounds.
A nice awareness there by Chambers. Chambers, of course, her season's winding down. She's a senior. And interesting to see, unless Slippery Rock can find a way to get themselves into that PSAC tournament, her illustrious career will come to an end next week.
That's just got to be one of the many motivating factors for Slippery Rock to get into the tournament.
And that's not a good matchup if you're Slippery Rock with Heimlich going inside against Stoneham. If you're IUP, you've got to feel very comfortable with that matchup.
Coach McGraw was a little upset with the lack of a foul call there, and they get a carry there, and Coach McGraw not too happy. He wanted a foul call on Stoner down before when she knocked it out of bounds, and then they pick up the carry on Slippery Rock. So
he did. And McGraw's a former, he's a retired Marine military police officer, so I'm sure he has a very unique way of getting his point across.
Expressing himself, yeah, I'm sure. Offensive rebound for IUP, and they'll reset here. Smith on the near side. Smith with a foul away from the basket, Eric. They might pick that one up on Chambers. I think they will.
No, that's going to be on Hardiman.
Okay.
They're going to call her for a hold.
I've not been too on tonight with who the fouls are going to be on, but again, I'm going to blame it on sitting up here.
Absolutely.
So Danny Garut back in for the Rock. Megan Smith at the line for the IUP Crimson Hawks.
And if you're IUP, you've got to hit those front ends of the 1-and-1 and keep pushing up that lead.
Siggers inside to Chambers. Chambers stops up and puts that shot up, no good. Stoner played pretty good defense on her there. Matthew counters back. Stamp will kick it and around. Stamp driving, going to work, and it's knocked away, but it'll stay. IUP's ball. Good work by Chambers to force it inside. Shannon Jack back in. Take a look at some of the players that have played the most minutes for Slippery Rock here. Taylor Seegers leads that clan with 31 minutes here tonight. Hardiman with 28. And Chambers has played at 25 for Slippery Rock. And there's Ashley Stoner converting for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, really the second half, especially the last 5 to 6 minutes, Slippery Rock has not had an answer for Stoner.
3-ball right back for Shannon Jack. And the freshman is on the board.
Yeah, nice contribution for Jack. 7 points off of the bench, including a pair of 3-pointers.
Stoner again, can't convert. Just couldn't finish there on the inside. Stapleton swings it down low. That shot is up and good for Slippery Rock's Megan Hardiman. Or Garut, that is Garut. And Stamp wants a foul call. She won't get it, but she will get the 2. And she now has 24. Fast and furious, back and forth we go. There's another shot. It's raining shots. Taylor Siggers, and Coach McGraw wants a timeout. 30-second timeout. And we might take that to a full-length media timeout. We'll see. Indeed it does. So we'll step out here at the Kowalczyk Center. Crimson Hawks up by 5. Catch the finish here on IUP TV.
'Cause nothing ever gonna make this world better if we don't start believing that love really, really, really is the answer. Everybody join hands 'cause it's time now. Spread the love all over the world. Spread it all over the world.
When I was in high school, I didn't know where I wanted to go to college. But I did know I wanted a major with job potential, and a campus that felt like the right place for me. I chose IUP. I'm studying on a beautiful campus with great professors who focus on student success and 140 academic majors. I'm Megan Spangler. I study nursing. Find your success at IUP.
Welcome back to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. You see Ashley Stoner going to work for IUP. She's been a big force in this one, 17 points for the Crimson Hawks. One of 3 IUP players in double figures, along with Stamp, who leads all scorers with 26, and Johnny Brooks has done a nice job adding 12. For Slippery Rock, 2 players currently in double figures. Of course, Deasia Chambers with 21, and Taylor Siggers has 17. Quiet 17, I think. She's been a bit sporadic with her shooting, but she's been on more often than she's been off.
And she also has 7 assists.
Nice save there, a good hustle by Stapleton. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Inside, 2-1, and there we go. Ashley Stoner at the buzzer.
How fitting that is on that possession there. Stoner able to put up that shot. As the shot clock expires, able to put it up and over the taller Ranger.
It was all about if she was able to get the shot off before that buzzer went off. She was, and you knew it had a chance with Ashley Stoner shooting it. Chambers back. She really has some good moves, but she's been maybe a bit too forced sometimes. She's kind of taking it herself more often than not, I think.
That's the problem with Slippery Rock. They don't have a lot of secondary scorers. You look at Siggers and you look at Chambers after that. Next leading scorer is Jack off the bench with 7 points.
And there have been a lot of instances where Slippery Rock has forced the shot clock down under 10, and IUP has scored. And the shot is no good, but Stoner gets it back off the tip and converts. And Stoner now has 21 on the night.
And for Slippery Rock, now you have to start thinking about, you need to get stops, and you need to be aggressive just like Siggers was there, but they're going to call her for a travel. Nice defense by IUP, but now after Slippery Rock, like I said, Josh, you got to get some stops. You're down by 9, you still have a 3-possession game. Be aggressive, go to the basket, try to draw a foul, get to the line. And if you're IUP here offensively, look, you have a 30-second shot clock. We see Stoner convert there for her 21st point of the evening, and now Slippery Rock will start to foul. But if you're IUP, you can afford to take your time offensively with just over a minute and a half left, and you're up by 9.
Hardiman and Garut returned for Slippery Rock, and it's a 9-point advantage. We're down to the 137 mark there. It's been a good pace to this game. It's gone by relatively quickly. Some good up and down action. There was a nice stretch there. Teams just trading baskets for a while. So maybe not the game a coach would like to see, but for the fans, certainly entertaining with some back and forth style.
Well, it's been up and down, that's for sure.
And this Chambers back again, and she traveled, and that's something that Deasia Chambers has done plenty. She's taken it herself, and she has not given it up, and she's going to take a seat. I don't think Coach McGraw was too happy there.
Well, Slippery Rock has done a pretty good job of controlling the basketball. That's only their 6th turnover of the evening, but they just haven't been able to convert on their side of the floor.
And the fouls begin to come here as Slippery Rock tries to extend this game for as long as they can, but it's into the 1-and-1 territory, so IUP in the bonus, and they'll be one away from being in the double bonus with Marita Matthey at the line.
And with Matthey now connecting, that gives her 11 points on the evening to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. So a nice balanced evening for the reigning PSAC West Player of the Week.
Heinle Olkowski back in for Slippery Rock. Matthey can't convert. Jack rebounds. And Slippery Rock needs to get points, and they need to do it quick here as we approach the 1-minute mark. Jack all the way left hand scores. Nice take by Shannon Jack.
That was a nice take, able to get by Matthey, excuse me, as we have a foul on Olkowski. That will send Matthey to the line. But as you said, Josh, Slippery Rock's going to try to extend that game, get the game going, and when they do get the basketball, attack the rim, look to get a foul, look to get a layup. They have yet to really go out and try to hit a 3-pointer to cut into this lead.
Slippery Rock will take a timeout before that, so we'll keep it here with a 30-second timeout as this game is now a 9-point edge for IUP. And Eric, let's take a look at this IUP men's game. Crimson Hawk Sports Network pregame show coming up. We'll talk about Devontae Chance and what he was able to do, scoring his 1,000th point. We'll also recap the standings in the PSAC West following last weekend's action. Take a look at some players to watch, some impact players, and look at our keys to the game for IUP Slippery Rock, the men's edition.
It should be a very entertaining matchup. Slippery Rock comes into this game already having a victory over IUP on the season, and the Crimson Hawks struggling a bit, coming off of back-to-back road losses to Mercyhurst and Edinburgh. We talked about it, only 3 games left on the PSAC schedule before heading into conference tournament play, so an important matchup for both men's squads tonight.
Matthew converts.
And that was the 10th team foul on Slippery Rock, so IUP will be shooting 2 foul shots the rest of the way.
And we talked about how good the pace was with when a team's playing that kind of style. The fouling, the pace certainly not very good, so maybe we spoke too soon. We'll see if Slippery Rock continues to foul away. 1 minute left. There's a 3-ball. That's no good. Rebounded and stolen, but it's going IUP's way as Seegers just couldn't control it as she went out of bounds. That was Garut in the corner shooting that 3 for Slippery Rock.
And the officials are looking and discussing possibly going to a review to see who that ball did go out of bounds on.
Maybe they'll come up here and take a look at the monitor. No, they're not going to, Eric. That's a surprise. They're going to keep it with IUP with a full court press implied by the Rock. Audrey fouls Leslie, and Leslie, one of the better free throw shooters for this IUP women's basketball team, will go to the line. And for the Crimson Hawks, it's all about making foul shots. Leslie on the year, 84% from the line.
And Stapleton tonight from the floor struggled offensively, only 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3-point range. But with this foul shot here, she's now 4 of 4 from the line this evening, giving her a total of 7 points. As she hits for now 8 points, but contributing in other ways. 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Efficient night for her going up against her sister Audrey, who is having a decent game herself.
And Bridget McClure back in. She's only played 7 minutes here, and we'll get a timeout call. Full timeout, so we'll step out for 30 and come on back with more IUP basketball. Catch the finish right here on IUP TV. We'll be right back.
Happy birthday! Thank you, dear, very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel so spring has sprung. And every time I see you,
You're not fooling anybody, you know. Think young. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to the Crimson Hawks Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just catching the finish of this IUP women's basketball clash between the IUP Crimson Hawks, ranked number 9 in the country now, and Slippery Rock. Slippery Rock looks like their effort may fall a bit short. We don't want to stick a fork in it just yet, but the way things are trending, certainly momentum in favor of IUP here as we close it out under a minute to play.
In Slippery Rock, we talked about it coming into this basketball game, 6-13 on the season, tied with UPJ for that 6th and final playoff spot for postseason play out of the PSAC. So something to keep an eye on with UPJ playing tonight as well. If they are able to win, they would take a 1-game lead over Slippery Rock for that 6th seed.
And there's Siggers. And there's a near turnover and a nice play by Stapleton. She's made a couple of acrobatic plays to save it. Almost a 10-second call. Crimson Hawks just get it over half court. And Stapleton will try to elude. They'll play the monkey in the middle game here at the IUP Crimson Hawks when I think Slippery Rock is just going to concede perhaps. Maybe not, and I stand corrected. Shannon Jack fouls Stapleton. It looked like they were going to just back off a little bit, but then they finally decided, let's try to crawl back into this one now at a 10-point advantage for IUP.
Well, the only thing that there is you let about 15 extra seconds tick off the clock. So if you're Slippery Rock and you're going to foul, you want to do it right away.
You either do it or don't.
You go for that steal in the backcourt, If you can't get it, which they almost did.
They almost forced the 10-second as well, yeah.
So if you don't get it and that ball crosses half court, you got to foul immediately if that is going to be your game plan moving forward.
So we're down under 25 in this one. Slippery Rock down by 11. Siggers drives and kicks. Stapleton, Audrey, and will get a foul call on Jean A. Or perhaps Leslie. They will get Leslie Stapleton.
And if you're IUP, you want to stop fouling.
Yeah.
Quit putting Slippery Rock on
No
the
question.
line. The clock is stopped, and you're giving them opportunities to score points. It's an 11-point game. That's only a 4-possession game. They're able to hit these 2 foul shots. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game. Yeah, there's 15 seconds left, but hey, crazier things have happened. We saw it almost steal on the last possession for IUP.
Crimson Hawks currently sit second in the conference here. And they're looking to continue their winning ways as we approach the end of PSAC play. Good effort for both teams. A hard-fought game here tonight. They'll let the final 5 wind down. And that'll do it all over but the shouting for the Crimson Hawks. 86-77 is your final score. IUP victorious over Slippery Rock. Eric, who do you have as your player of the game here tonight?
I'm going to go with IUP's Lindsay Stamp, 10 of 18 from the field, including 6 of 10 from 3-point range. Did most of her damage in the first half, but that was all she needed to do, adding 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block. So good all-around effort for Lindsay Stamp, the senior from Erie, Pennsylvania.
That'll wrap it up here for us here this evening. For Josh Hill, Eric Hormos, and our director, Tommy Sesla. We'll be back right here for the men in about 15 minutes here on IUP TV. Good night, everybody.